Security Conservatives. And we've got a secret weapon to add to that arsenal, the Tea Party. And the Tea Party absolutely gives the willies to the liberals. And they should be afraid of the Tea Party, because this is what the Tea Party stands for. We're taxed enough already. Don't spend more money than what you take in. Act within the bounds of the Constitution. A terribly frightening group of people. But the Tea Party, social conservatives, fiscal conservatives, national security conservatives, this is our time. This is when we come together, and we are the team that can't be beat. In my home city of Waterloo, Iowa, there was a family that made a tremendous sacrifice named the Sullivans. They had 5 sons, and when Pearl Harbor hit, their neighbor was killed in Pearl Harbor. And the 5 Sullivan brothers said, we want to go to war and we want to fight on behalf of our nation. All 5 boys signed up on one condition, and it was this, that they could serve together on the same boat, because they wrote in the letter home, we make a team that can't be beat. And so they went to war and to serve our country. And they were in an intense battle one night in the Pacific. They were on the USS Juno. And they served all night, they fought all night, and in the morning, a torpedo came, and our torpedo hit this USS Juno. And when it hit the ship, it made a hole. Scores of men were killed, thrown into the water. One of the boys, named George, the oldest, was swimming, looking for his brothers frantically. They perished. George ultimately perished that night. Of the 697 brave young men on the USS Juno, 697, 10 survived.
Oh, wow.
All 5 Sullivan brothers lost their life. No one can even imagine what that visit was like when the United States military went to Waterloo, Iowa, and knocked on the door of Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan and told them that a loss had happened in their heart that they could never repay. Everyone thought that they would grieve and shut their doors and close their windows. And the Sullivans made a decision. They were faithful people. They prayed. And Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan decided they were going to turn their mourning in for ashes. And they, rather than curse the darkness, they would light a candle. They went all over this country. And they spoke and they rallied a nation that wasn't sure if we could win. And they sold millions of war bonds to keep this country going and to give it hope and to say, we can do this. We laid this sacrifice on the altar of freedom. We can win this war. We can go on as a country. That's what Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan did for this country. They believed there was a future. They believed there was a hope. I believe it too. You believe it too. I can see it in your eyes. We're not done. We're not finished. We're not going into decline. We are going into the future, and we are soaring into the future. It is not too late for this country. We're going to make it. And tomorrow, here in Ames, Iowa, we are the privileged ones who get to make that deposit on liberty again. We get to do it. We get to. We get to make that promise and send a message to Washington, D.C. so loud that Barack Obama can't possibly miss the sound that will be made tomorrow in Ames, Iowa.
Yay!
That we are taking our country back. Iowa is the state that launched Barack Obama, and Iowa will be the place where that presidency is coming to an end. You get to choose tomorrow, and I couldn't be more excited. And so I thought tonight long and hard about you making this sacrifice, coming out this evening. You've given me so much hope and so much encouragement. I love you all. I'm so grateful that you're here.
We love you,
and I thought
Michelle.
long and hard, what can I give you as a thank you gift for coming out tonight? And I was thinking about our years when I grew up here. We were a very modest means family, very modest means. We didn't have a lot of money. And one of the happiest times we had when I was a little girl growing up, my mother, for a huge treat, would pop some popcorn, and she'd get out the Karo syrup on the stove, and we would make popcorn balls. It was the happiest time, and that symbolized for me joy and happiness and what my sweet mother did to bring joy into our family. And so I went to the Dubuque Popcorn Company here in Iowa, and I bought popcorn balls for all of you. And I'm going to throw these out to you, and this is what we're going to do for Barack Obama in 2012. We're throwing it out.